When we had a meeting as a company, we came up with one of the major philosophies was it's always going to be hashtag family first. So it's important. We all want time, we all want money, we all want freedom. We know that content's the way to get there. We know that inbound marketing makes sense. But where do we start? How do you put the puzzle pieces together? I once talked to one of our clients and he said, George, here's the thing. You're teaching me about this thing called inbound marketing, and I can only explain it in this manner. This is what I feel like right now. I feel like you've disassembled a bicycle and you've laid the parts all across the floor and then asked me to ride down the road. I can answer that for you because we really didn't know what inbound marketing was. No, you don't know the rules. So how are you supposed to play the game? The marketing team comes to you and says, we want to help you build your personal brand. We want to help you create content. We want to help the company grow. Everybody in this room should be like, let's do it yesterday. I don't care what your job title is, but in the back of your mind, I want you to keep saying that because I love that phrase. I'm a content specialist. And it's all about finding the niche that you fit in to be able to create that, okay? Today was super interesting. We got to do a brand new workshop. It's something that we had never done before. Which is always exciting because you know that there's going to be new things that you'll learn about the way that your teaching process has to go. But more than that, what I really liked was just looking at the aha moments that this company had. They've been using HubSpot for a while now, and they have a professionally designed website. They've got a team, a marketing team, and yet there were some very basic and very advanced things that you could just see them like, oh my goodness. And that was just awesome to see those. Now, what's really interesting to me though is that these companies, they spend tons of money on web development, on softwares like HubSpot, but there's no follow-through education to making sure that they're using these tools properly. And so you're really just kind of spending money to say that you have something versus spending that money to do something with it. For me, I really like the fact that when you walk out of being with a company for a day, that you know you've changed not only the company, but you've changed the lives inside of it. Those people will further their education. They'll start to get certifications. They'll write content that before today they wouldn't have created that could add up to millions of dollars. You know, a lot of people have had the opportunity to watch me kind of grow online, and there's this hashtag GSD that is synonymous with my brand, which is get stuff done. And for years and years and years, there's been the hustle and the grind. And let me just explain today, this week in general, is the catalyst moment of all that hustle. I get to spend 2 days in Washington, D.C. with my kids and my wife, and I get to relax and enjoy life and see things that I haven't seen before. And then later in the week, I get to drive to Virginia. Well, I'm actually in Virginia, but I get to drive over to Marcus's house, and I get to hang out with Marcus and Patrick, Marcus's family, and really just have that downtime that if I wasn't hustling, if I wasn't grinding the week, 2 weeks, 2 years before this, I wouldn't have that opportunity.
was hilarious.
George is killing it. All right, so we're closing out Family First Weekend is what we call it.
Yep.
We've been together for about 3 days, and obviously we've done a lot together. But I think for me, George, the thing about this is I want the kids to know that there's more than just in terms of work. You getting on a plane, or me getting on a plane, us speaking somewhere, go giving a workshop, that they can know you and appreciate you like I appreciate you, and that the families can bond. And that makes it, to me, when we may not see them as much, it makes them have a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Yep.
What do you think you get out of this? What they get out of it? I mean, because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some companies do this, but I feel like this is probably more intimate than a lot of companies do it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it comes down to the fact that, we have a virtual company, and so many other people go to work all the time and they see their boss all the time. They start to take them for granted, and everybody's trying to build a culture while we just have a culture, right?
Yeah.
And this week for me was magical, being able to actually wrap business and family all in one. Monday being in Herndon, Virginia,
yeah.
And doing a workshop with the company, and then being able to have 2 days where we went around DC, and then the last 3 days hanging out with the family. And what's nice too is, we kind of did this from the beginning. Like the first phone call when I was getting hired, you said talk to your wife first. When we had a meeting as a company, we came up with one of the major philosophies was it's always going to be #family first. And if that's the driver, then you can have magical moments like the people have seen the past 3 days.
It's different as a boss when you talk about your kids, and I don't have a face, I don't have a relationship,
Right.
versus like I know your kids, I have a relationship with them, I know them personally, I know them intimately, and I've experienced a lot of fun with them. I've taught them to do things, like I've helped teach your son how to drive a boat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I think you hit the magic word is intimacy. Like, because of the connection last year, this year, when I go back and as an employee, because you're looking at it from, the boss, from an employee, will I do those extra 4 hours? Will I work till midnight? Will I, go that extra step? Yeah, because there's not an employee-boss relationship. There's an intimate, deep-rooted relationship.
Yeah. Well, it's been cool.
It's been super cool.
It's been fun. It's worth it. And I tell you what, it's stuff like this that you never regret. Never regret doing, and it builds bonds. Like you said, this is really the stuff. It's the ties that bind.
Yep.
It's the stuff that you talk about years later. Remember that time?